Israel warplanes continued to strike Gaza City, home to Hamas centers of government. The four-day-old war has already claimed more than 1,600 lives, with thousands more injured.
Israel saw gun battles in the streets of its own towns for the first time in decades, and neighborhoods in Gaza were reduced to rubble. Hamas also escalated the conflict, pledging to kill captured Israelis if strikes targeted civilians without warning.
In response, the Israeli military activated 300,000 reservists in a massive mobilization. The question now is whether the country will launch a ground assault into the tiny Mediterranean coastal territory.
In a statement, President Joe Biden says the situation calls for Americans to stand shoulder to shoulder with Israelis. President Biden is expected to give remarks on the conflict at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This comes as the Biden administration works to respond to the rising death toll of Americans in the country.
Meantime, Israel's prime minister says that their country is in a war to ensure its existence. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
Israeli first responders taking in the widespread damage after Hamas rockets targeted several communities over the last 2 days. Cars riddled with bullets, buildings blown to pieces, and Israeli men cheering on their military in the streets. All signs Israel is at war.
We didn't want this war. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way.
President Biden has pledged full support to Israel's defense, speaking with key U.S. allies, France, Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom in a joint call Monday. The White House now saying at least 11 Americans have been killed in the attacks and others could have been taken hostage.
We're in constant touch with Israeli officials right now to try to get a sense of the whereabouts of all the unaccounted for Americans, because they who knows where they are or what condition they're in.
U.S. military aid is already on the way to Israel, and the Biden administration says more assistance will be announced in coming days, but there is currently no intention to send in U.S. troops.
Israel will win this war, and when Israel wins, the entire civilized world wins.
Pro-Israel demonstrations taking place in cities across the U.S., while others stand with the Palestinians. The White House is showing solidarity with the people of Israel, lit up blue and white, the colors of the Israeli flag, Monday night. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Just hours after Hamas attacked Israel, Republicans and Democrats each pledged American support to Israel. But many are wondering, what does this support look like? In a statement, Virginia Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger said that she's ready to make sure that America provides Israel with the humanitarian, security, and intelligence assistance it needs to secure its borders and neutralize the Hamas terrorists. Senator Tim Kaine said that he's waiting to hear from the Biden administration on specific aid, but wouldn't rule out weapons transfers, as well as sending Israel money to help defend itself.
Because of the close working relationship between the U.S. and the Israeli militaries, I think we'll see a request list, and I believe, again, there's strong bipartisan support for doing what we need to do to help Israel defend itself.
A spokesperson for Virginia's other Senator Mark Warner, who chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee, says the committee's working with the Biden administration and that the intelligence community to determine what failures led up to the attack.